In 2001, virtually every Democrat in this country was sure that the election had been stolen from Al Gore and given to George Bush. In 2004, I wrote an award-winning article for Rolling Stone magazine about election fraud in the 2004 election that injured John Kerry, and Democrats all were of a consensus. There was a resolution in Congress about it among the Democrats. In 2016, Hillary Clinton gave an interview to the Atlantic Monthly saying that the election had been stolen from her. In 2020, Bernie Sanders, all his supporters also believe the election has been stolen. So you had Democrats for 20 years who were worried about election fraud, and all of a sudden, after January 6th, it stopped being an issue. If you talked about your doubts about election integrity, you became a MAGA radical, an insurgent. And it shouldn't be that way. This is a Republican and a Democratic issue. We are the exemplary democracy in the world. We had a couple of weeks ago a professor go to Georgia and show how those machines could be hacked in a public demonstration in 6 different ways. Now, we're sitting in a city here that was built on the capacity of American designers to build machines that count and never get it wrong, right? And there's ATM machines on every block in most cities in our country that never give you more money than you ask for. Oh, we ought to be able to design a machine that's unhackable, and we ought to all be satisfied that there is there. But no matter what kind of machines we have, we need paper ballots. And I've been saying this for 24 years. And we need voter ID too. And the Democrats are worried about voter ID, and they have legitimate reasons for doing so, because there's a lot of Americans, and there's tens of millions of Americans, and most of them are Democratic voters, who don't have driver's licenses. So they're elderly people, they're urban people, minorities particularly, and students who tend to vote Democratic, and they believe that any effort to require voter ID at the voting booth is going to disenfranchise tens of millions of voters. Well, the solution for that is something that I've been urging President Biden to do for years, and that I'm going to urge President Trump to do in his first week in office, which is to order the Post Office and the State Department to distribute passport cards to every American who can't afford them. And I have agreements from Andrew Young, from Reverend Al Sharpton, and many, many other civil rights leaders, that they will remove all of their objection to a requirement of voter ID at the voting booth if we do that. And so this is an easily solvable problem. It's a problem that doesn't have to divide us. And it's a mystery to me about whether, and these civil rights leaders have met repeatedly with President Biden, begging him to do it, and he's refused. So I think we're going to need a Republican in office who will finally fix the voting system in this country. As I said, we're the exemplary democracy. We are the example to the world, the model, the template. And we ought to have a voting system in this country that works, but we're not going to get that unless we get President Trump elected. And a voting system that every American, every Democrat, and every Republican, there are certain states in our country, like New Hampshire, where nobody ever worries about voter fraud. They have systems with great integrity, and they have paper ballots. But some states, and a lot of them are the battleground states, that have systems that people do not have faith in, and that's just wrong. We need to get President Trump elected. For this, We need them to get elected to end the wars, to end our addiction to the warfare state, to end this corrupt merger of state and corporate power that has infected and turned all of our agencies predatory against the American public. That allows those corporations to commoditize our landscapes, our rivers, our waters, to pollute them, to pollute our air. That allows pharmaceutical companies and big agriculture and big food to poison our children and commoditize them. That allows the military-industrial complex to just provide a constant pipeline of new wars that is destroying our country. And those are that end the intelligence apparatus and end the power, dismantle the intelligence apparatus that has turned against the American people and that is turning the world's exemplary democracy into a national security, into an imperium abroad, and a national security and censorship state at home. And there's only one candidate who is even conversant on these issues, who is committed to these issues. And these issues, this election is a struggle over the soul of America. And those of us who love this country and understand it, and understand that these rights have to be protected, we need to fight for these rights by getting this president elected until the rest of America wakes up and thanks us for doing that. Yes. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Las Vegas. You guys have been amazing, so attentive, so passionate. Get out there and vote.
Thank you very much.
Donald Trump for president.
Aloha.
Reclaim America.